Hello and welcome to my new channel about figure skating. My name is Robert Hudovernik, and this is the story of Alysa Liu. First of all, I'd like to extend a huge congratulations and thank you to Alysa Liu for her fantastic figure skating performances at the 2026 Milan Winter Olympic Games, and for her very unique perspective on skating. So what did Alysa Liu say and show about figure skating that was so profound? Were you as shocked as I was when you heard what she said? Throughout 2025, as well as prior to the 2026 Winter Olympic Games, Alysa Liu told her friends, family, and media reporters something that I have been waiting to hear from a figure skater for decades. During an interview with 60 Minutes in January of 2026, reporter Sharon Alfonsi asked Liu if she was an athlete or an artist. Liu replied, "An artist, actually. I view competitions more like a stage for a performance." Then, on February 17, 2026, Liu elaborated about being an artist to Lynn Rutherford on the usfigureskating.org news website. "I want people to know that I'm an artist, and I appreciate all the different art forms," Liu told Rutherford. "I love watching movies, and I feel like I can really step into a character's shoes and live their life. I want to do it through photography. I want to do that through fashion. I want to do that through storytelling. Whatever tools I have to share my ideas, bring it on." Like any fine artist, Liu wants to tell stories that reflect her life experiences. And like any artist, Liu wants to include each of these stories into what she calls her portfolio of artistic performances. What's most shocking about Alysa Liu is that she doesn't care about medals. She told Rutherford, "They don't make me feel greater than I am or more than other people." Did you also notice while watching the Milan Winter Olympic skating coverage how Alysa would hug and encourage her fellow skaters before and after their performances? Why did she do that? Because Alysa Liu has a deep love and empathy for all people, and that caring for others is at the very heart and soul of this young woman's life philosophy. Fans and skaters alike can feel Liu's joy and love of figure skating and how she wants to share it with them so they can feel her joy too. It's one of her great gifts to all of us. In many ways, I think Alysa Liu is a throwback to the 19th and early 20th century, when communities in America and around the world were discovering the simple joy and love for ice skating together. American families, as well as their northern neighbors in Canada, would skate on the frozen lakes, ponds, and rivers near their cities or small rural towns, as shown in these old postcards from the early 20th century. Just check out the crowds in these postcards. It's really amazing. I remember my own memories of skating in the 1960s on local ponds and pretending to be just like the famous figure skaters my brother and I had seen on TV, such as David Jenkins, Don Jackson, and Scott Allen. We'd skate until dark, laughing whenever we fell on the ice doing spins or when we collided with each other playing ice hockey, which was a little rougher, I might add. We'd build fires along the river banks and sit inside lean-tos and sip hot chocolate from the thermoses that our mothers sent with us, and watch skaters skate under the magical, icy moonlight, just like the people did during earlier eras. Years later, when I first began researching figure skating collectibles, I learned about the early history of figure skating, when people first skated on bone skates. Ouch! Skating on bones? Or how about those Dutch citizens in the 17th century who commuted to and from work by skating on frozen rivers, as in this painting by Dutch artist Hendrik Everkamp in 1608. At that time, ice skating was purely utilitarian as a form of transportation. From haunting double-image stereo view photos of skaters in Central Park in New York City during the 1860s, I discovered how families went ice skating as a way to escape from the stress of bad news about America's Civil War battles. Then, in 1882, something changed ice skating. French composer Émile Waldteufel wrote The Skater's Waltz when he was inspired by watching skaters at the Bois de Boulogne Park in Paris. It became the theme song for skaters all around the world. And it's a tune that skaters still use today for their competitive skating program. It goes like this. Now, with the music soundtrack, ice skating began evolving into an art form called figure skating. It was a slower time when figure skating was young, and people had fallen in love with its artistic and romantic dance moves, and the feeling of flying like birds as they soared across the ice. By the 1890s, adventurous Victorian skaters of all ages were attempting difficult jumps or spins and making precision, geometric figure-eight-like drawings on ice. Since there was no TV or internet in those days, they learned these artistic techniques from European ice skating books like this one from Germany. The photos from these books were absolutely revolutionary to the development of presenting figure skating as an art form to the world. Speaking of taking photos of skaters, if you watched any of the figure skating practice sessions on the NBC Peacock coverage during the Milan Olympic broadcast, you may have also noticed that Alysa Liu skating on the ice with her digital camera, happily taking snapshots or videos of her fellow skaters. She didn't know it then, but when she took those pictures, she was following in the footsteps of Victorian-era photographers who documented and shared early film footage or still photos with their Kodak cameras. Maybe Alysa will shoot her own movie about figure skating someday. Who knows? She certainly has the artistic talent and creative vision to be a filmmaker on ice, too. How did Alysa Liu become an artist on ice? It had to have started with her father's dream for her to be a figure skater and her steadfast family supporting her early years figure skating. While Alysa was in middle school, Alysa briefly attended the Oakland School of Art, where figure skating was offered as a fine art. There, I believe, she studied performance art and dance, but it was probably also there that she was exposed to many fine art forms like drawing, painting, design, sculpture, music, and photography. Then, when Liu retired from figure skating at age 16, she wasn't wasting her time. She was searching for the meaning and purpose of her life by exploring her newfound freedom away from skating while trying new things. She studied human psychology at UCLA. She also climbed to the Mount Everest base camp, danced, and watched lots of movies. While Alysa was skiing with friends, she realized how much she loved speed and how it had the same joy that figure skating offered to her. It was then she started considering returning to figure skating. However, if she were to return, it would have to be on her own terms. This meant being in control of her own direction, which essentially meant firing her beloved father as her manager so that she could control all aspects of her skating routines, her choice of music, her design of costumes, and the staging of her performances, like an artist. Yes, she would collaborate with her coaches, who were also artists in their own right. She would now be seen as an equal contributor, as an artist. You know the rest of the story. The rest is history. Alysa Liu won 2 gold medals at the 2026 Milan-Cortina Winter Olympic Games. So has Alysa Liu changed figure skating history forever? Yes, without a doubt in my mind. Alysa Liu has redefined figure skating and has given it a fresh new pair of blades. Some way, somehow, magically, Alysa Liu's return to figure skating brought an exciting new way of seeing and experiencing the world of figure skating. And that world is that figure skating is a beautiful art form. In conclusion, it is so important to give credit to all the artistic skaters of the past and present who influenced Alysa Liu, as well as their coaches. Alysa is certainly standing on the shoulders of so many creative female artisan skaters who came before her, from Sonia Henne to Michelle Kwan, and to the young skaters as well as older skaters. I have to say, think of yourselves as artists making art on ice like Alysa Liu, and you too will always find happiness and success. Because according to Alysa Liu, it is more about the journey than the medals. In closing, it seems only fitting to mention that Alysa Liu's stunning artistic performance all happened at the Milan-Cortina Winter Olympics in Italy, a country that is historically one of the world's great birthplaces of the history of art and beauty on our fragile planet. So what do you think about figure skaters being artists? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos, please hit the subscribe and like button, as well as the notifications bell. Thanks for watching, and keep on figure skating. Till then, goodbye. History forever? Yes, without a doubt in my mind.